Hello and welcome to the news at 10 on Nta News 24. We are live in Abuja. I am Dennis Adegunloye. Thanks for joining us. The headlines.
Issue of revenue federalism, issue of revenue allocation, and an issue of even state creation.
Senate retreat believes review of 1999 Constitution will address major challenges hindering country's growth and development. Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency re-echoes need for public to heed agency's warning to clear drainages and make way for water runoff. And President Tinubu appoints 7 executive directors for NTA, harps on professionalism and delivering on its mandate. President Bola Tinubu was among the congregation at the National Mosque Abuja for a special Jumat prayer to commemorate Nigeria's 64th independence anniversary. Former head of state, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, and Chairman, Governors Forum and Kwara State Governor Abdurrahman Abdurazak, National Assembly members and ministers were also in attendance. In the translation of the sermon, Imam Muhammad Kabir Adam acknowledged the diversity amongst Nigerians as designed by God. He harped on the necessity for good conduct among the citizens while urging Nigerians to remain united and work towards actualization of a greater country. After the 2 standing salah, there was a special prayer for the continuous unity, peace and development of the country, as well as for God's guidance, strength and wisdom as President Bola Tinubu continues to lead the country. President Bola Tinubu has appointed 7 executive directors for the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. Statements by the Special Advisor to the President's Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, lists the executive directors as Ayo Adewi, reappointed as Executive Director News. Barrister edged Nigeria's support to the global campaign against lead poisoning to save lives of vulnerable citizens in the mining industry. Reviewing the exhibition of the lead campaign at the Lead-Free Future events organized by the UNICEF and USAID on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly, Alake announced plans to procure additional equipment for the detection of lead in communities plagued by lead poisoning. He advocated for more enlightenment on the threat posed to persons in the mining of gold and other minerals, emphasizing that cleaning up lead from communities will restore child and maternal health. He emphasized the need to factor lead reduction in the process of local value addition being championed by the ministry. USAID representative Casey Bartram appreciated the commitments of the Nigerian government in sanitizing the mining industry with globally acceptable policies. In the meantime, Nigeria and MasterCard have announced a partnership aimed at supporting 1 million African farmers. The partnership deal was sealed during a meeting between Vice President Kashim Shettima and executives of MasterCard Corporation on the sidelines of the ongoing 79th session of the UN General Assembly in New York. The project plan includes support for 1 million farmers across Nigeria, Kenya, Tanzania, with a focus on enhancing financial inclusion and digital access to critical services, as well as support from the African Development Bank, AFDB. The MasterCard Regional for West Africa, Dr. Folashade Femi Lawal, said a key component of the partnership is the rollout of contactless payment systems, planning 160 payment seminars starting February next year. Local government autonomy, restructuring, assigning constitutional role to traditional institutions, women's rights, security, and state creation are some of the issues stakeholders at a 10th Senate retreat of the Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution believe that, if captured in the ongoing review, will address major challenges hindering the growth and development of the country. Habibu Husseini reports that this was the view of major stakeholders at the retreat declared open by President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, in Kano.
Platform that brought together National Assembly members and key stakeholders to tackle the country's pressing challenges. Nigerian federalism, matters arising for constitutional reform, was the theme of the retreat, around which discussions were made on constitutional reform, with emphasis on key areas that need to be addressed in the ongoing review of the 1999 Constitution. These areas aim to promote national unity, foster economic growth, and ensure the well-being of Nigerians. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, in a message, emphasized the need for unity in overcoming Nigeria's obstacles, urging participants to contribute meaningfully to strengthening the Constitution and propelling Nigeria towards greatness.
You have several memoranda, several submissions, cutting across several issues to do with our country. So there are several things, some security issues, issues of fiscal federalism, issue of revenue allocation, and issue of even state creation.
The diaspora voting is important. I want to see how we can help our people. And there are many of them all over the world who want to participate in our democracy. But by the time we're able to get Nigerians abroad to vote, it will be almost impossible to rig elections.
This issue of citizenship, this issue of religious differences, all of them must be addressed. The issue of marginalization, the groups that are marginalized. People are talking about women, people are talking about traditional institutions. I led, as chairman of the Northern Governors Forum, we led a firepool team to the Senate and House of Representatives. We said we needed a constitutional role for the traditional institution. We were surprised when it was thrown away. Now give the executive and legislative powers. Let the chairman's roles and functions be defined in the Constitution, just like the governor's powers, just like the president's power, and then the legislative arm, who is supposed to serve as a check and carry out legislative business in the local government, be also given constitutional powers.
Members of the two chambers of the National Assembly, state lawmakers and local council representatives, as well as civil society organizations, were among those in attendance.
In other news, the number of cases instituted by litigants across the country has increased in recent times, a situation attributed to the newfound knowledge that they can obtain justice through the court system. With these increases in court dockets comes the attendant slowdown in court proceedings when judges write in longhand. But with the introduction of digitized or virtual ICT facilities in some courts, the burden on judges, lawyers and litigants has eased. The validation meeting on the National Minimum Standards to Implement the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015 gave credence to this sentiment.
Cases should be automated. We start from there. National minimum standards is all about three things: consistency, efficiency, and accountability.
The AJA 2015 has already laid a solid foundation, and this national minimum standard document builds upon that foundation to ensure that we establish a more effective, accountable, and responsive criminal justice system.
The forum applauded the improved efficiency in utilizing provisions of the iconic law called ACJA 2015 to fast-track justice dispensation, while contentious practices like trial within trials expected to give way to more reformatory legal ideas. We don't have any relationship with any non-performing contractors. These were the words of the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nta News24, when he inspected the construction site of the left-hand service carriageway of the Outer Southern Expressway from the Ring Road 1 to Wasa Junction. Onoze Yakubu reports.
With funds being provided, the FCT administration has fulfilled its own side of the bargain, as the onus lies with the contractor to deliver the project on schedule. The FCT Minister Nta News24 says, despite his reservations, he will continue to support the contractor to see to the timely completion of the project that is dear to his heart. He also hinted that President Bola Tinubu has approved the immediate rehabilitation of the 18-kilometer Karunyanya-Kalshi road.
I still have my doubts. I will not lie to you. I still have my doubt, but they are still insisting that by April they will have completed this project. It's a project that's very dear to us. We know the importance of this road. So many people are eager to see that this project is completed on time, so that it will ease off a lot of traffic and also will boost the economic activities of this area. What attracted me to that road, if you remember, when we came to this Karashiapo last time, we took that road and I saw how bad the road was, and I said, no, this is not acceptable to us. And we wrote to Mr. President and he approved that there should be immediate rehabilitation of that road. And we are doing it under emergency. And so we had to contract the SEC, and they have given us 8 months to be able to complete that road. I know how important that road is. Look at so many agencies of government along that road.
On the ongoing LEA teacher strike, the minister says he will not hesitate to use 10% of his internally generated revenue to pay the striking teachers.
We try to do what we can do in order to see that the system is moving on well. It will be unfortunate. It will be unfortunate, which I told the chairman. It will be unfortunate that the teachers are on strike. It will be very, very unfortunate. And that will mean that if the teachers are not paid, then I will use the 10% IGR, which will nobody pay to them, to pay to the teachers. I will not fold my arms and allow that to happen. No serious government will see their teachers stay at home and children are suffering. I will not tolerate that.
This action, he added, is coming against the failure of the area council chairmen to fulfill their own side of the bargain after the FCT administration paid off the 40% promise. Onoze Yakubu, Nta News.
This is the news at 10 on Nta News24. We'll take a short break. More reports in a moment.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chairman Interministerial Committee on Nigeria's 64th Independence Anniversary, Senator George Akume FNIMCON, wishes to announce the programs lined up for the celebration of Nigeria's 64th Independence Anniversary with the theme, Reflecting on the Past, Inspiring the Future, as follows. World Press Conference, Thursday, 26th September 2024. Venue, National Press Center, Radio House, Garki, Abuja. Time 10 a.m. Special Jumu'at prayers, Friday, 27th September 2024. Venue, National Mosque, Abuja. Time 1 p.m. Interdenominational Church Service, Sunday, 29th September 2024. Venue, National Christian Center, Abuja. Time 10 a.m. Presidential broadcast, Tuesday, 1st October 2024. Time 7 a.m. 64th Independence Anniversary Parade, Tuesday, 1st October 2024. Venue, Presidential Villa. Time 10 a.m. All invited guests are to be seated by 9 a.m. Announcer Mohammed Idris FNIPR, Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, and Chairman, Media and Publicity Subcommittee.
Welcome back. The National Orientation Agency, in collaboration with the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF, and the National Population Commission, is engaging relevant stakeholders in Bielsa State to buy into the ongoing electronic birth registration by the NPC. The engagement is aimed at capturing all unregistered births of children from 0 to 5 years as a critical initiative to improving birth registrations for their attendant benefits. Ifoma Aihoji reports.
The Bielsa State Advocacy and Press Conference on the 2024 birth registrations campaign staged a robust brainstorming by religious and traditional leaders, media professionals, and other key stakeholders who expressed commitment to increasing awareness on the ongoing National Population Commission (NPC's) e-birth registration.
We got people from diverse backgrounds, and we're happy that we have a lot of them from the religious background, NGOs and all that. So they were here, took the message, and they have promised to take the message to the various communities and groups which they belong.
Birth registration also helps government at all levels because it is a veritable source of statistical data for effective planning for sustainable local, state, and national development.
The advocacy meeting afforded the key players the platform to express concerns, ask questions bordering on the processes of the exercise, and make relevant submissions.
We are now in a digital world, and birth certificate is very, very important. And I believe that these dates that are collected are going to be keyed into national systems that will help. So we encourage everybody, and I am going to take the message to the Christian.
To the Bielsa State Council for Islamic Affairs, who will take this message to them, and I want to assure you, every one of us will embrace this program.
Already, the State National Orientation Agency, NOA, has deployed community orientation and mobilization officers to the 8 local government areas of Bielsa State to engage with the grassroots dwellers on the importance of embracing the e-birth registration initiative. And to justify these efforts, the authorities implore Nigerians in Bielsa State to take advantage of the mop-up exercise to register the birth of their 0 to 5-year-olds, while stakeholders are expected to provide necessary support to the over 400 ad hoc registrars recruited to drive this cause. In Yanagwa, Ifoma Aihoji, Nta News.
The Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency, NISA, has re-echoed the need for the public to heed the agency's warning and clear their drainages, gutters, and make way for water runoff, adding that steady rise in water levels of the rivers Niger and Benue have reached peak levels. Director General of NISA notes that the prolonged rains across the country have caused some of the devastating flash floods. He promised that the agency will continue to monitor the water levels of major rivers while working in synergy with emergency response agencies and the media in safeguarding lives and property to abate flood impacts, enhance food security, and foster sustainable water resource management. Nigeria's tourism sector is to contribute 12.3 trillion naira to the economy by 2032 and create 2.6 million new jobs in the coming decade. Minister of Tourism Lola Adejon stated this as Nigeria joined the global community to commemorate the World Tourism Day with the theme Tourism and Peace. Ekemini Williams reports.
The 2024 World Tourism Day is focusing on the connection between tourism and fostering global harmony and peace through inclusion, job creation, and strengthening local economies. Minister of Tourism Mrs. Lola Adejon says the ministry is focused on developing a comprehensive tourism database, a mobile app, and virtual tours to highlight Nigeria's diverse destinations for a global audience. She says the digital transformation is being undertaken in partnerships with the private sector, especially with young tech innovators.
We are committed to unlocking our potential through policy and leadership enhancement, implementing a thorough national tourism policy and tourism development master plan, and reactivating key structures like the Presidential Council on Tourism, chaired by Mr. President himself.
The minister called on state governments and private sector investors to collaborate with the federal government in reviving tourist attractions in the country.
Governments, private enterprises, non-governmental organizations, and local communities must work together to leverage our collective strengths and resources.
Very funny exercise that social media brings up to you, these cute trends. There was a day that they will be putting a map and they will be placing the 36 states of Nigeria in the map, and then they will be telling you how many states have you visited. I want to extend that question to you all. How many states have you visited so far?
In line with the theme of the World Tourism Day, the minister stressed that the true power of tourism lies in its ability to foster unity, break down barriers, and support inclusive growth. In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, Nta News.
With its strategic role in positively impacting the lives of the less privileged and vulnerable in society, the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation needs to have a substantive leader for smooth operations. This is the view of the concerned civil society organization of Nigeria, which has appealed to the president to consider a well-meaning Nigerian who has demonstrated compassion and empathy for persons with disabilities and the most vulnerable in society through her philanthropic works. The group says that Dr. Halimat Tejuosho has proved a popular choice for these groups of Nigerians.
Passionately appeal for the appointment of Dr. Halima Adenike Tejuosho as a credible replacement due to her impactful antecedents in philanthropy and humanitarian service, even as a private citizen. The life of Dr. Halima Adenike Tejuosho has convinced us that she is credible, capable, and competent to serve as the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation.
This is the news at 10 on Nta News24. Let's take a look at our major stories.
Issue of revenue allocation and an issue of even state creation.
Senate retreats, believes review of 1999 Constitution will address major challenges hindering the country's growth and development. Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency re-echoes need for the public to heed agency's warning and clear drainages, making way for water runoff. And President Bola Tinubu has appointed 7 executive directors for NTA, harps on professionalism and delivering on mandate.
This is Nta News24.
The All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, has faulted the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC for uploading the names of non-members of the party on its website as the national officers of the party. Addressing newsmen in Abuja, Sly Eze Okenwa, who claims to be the authentic national chairman of APGA, challenged INEC to present certified court order that validates its action. Kenneth Nanim reports.
The All Progressives Grand Alliance APGA has been grappling with leadership contestation leading to various subsisting court orders. Sly Ezeokenwa, who claims to be the authentic national chairman of APGA, alleges that Edozie Njoku, another who lays claims to the same title, and his escorts whose names were uploaded on the INEC website are not members of the party.
We challenge INEC to present any court order recognizing Chief Edozie Njoku and his band of co-travelers as the national officers of APGA. This group has persistently sought, through fraudulent means and blatant disregard for the law, to destabilize APGA and derail our democratic process.
Sly Ezeokenwa also faults the recent suspension of critical members of the party as announced by Edozie Njoku.
This purported suspension, issued from a place of sheer imagination rather than any legitimate authority, is not only laughable, but also serves as a clear indication of the length to which Njoku will go.
APGA, he says, will continue to uphold the integrity of democratic principles. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Well, that concludes the news at 10 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adegunloye.